us direction.
Hello, I'm Pastor Michael E. Thomas, Senior Pastor of the Bethlehem Baptist Church here in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. And we want to welcome those who have joined us throughout Garvin County for today's session on social networking. I decided to play a brief video kind of describing the original purpose of social networking, and then I'm going to share with you my personal experience with social networking. I don't see myself as a guru, I see myself as experienced. Now let me explain to you my brand and why I began the social network. My brand is the gospel of Jesus Christ. Your brand may be your restaurant, it may be running for governmental office, or whatever it is, whatever your brand is, you can use social networking. But my brand is the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I developed a burden to reach as many people as I could with the gospel of Jesus Christ. And my pilgrimage started with having a church website. We have a church website, www.heargodsword@bethlehem.com, as you can see on the screen there. And it began there. And a website I included in this presentation. It is an entire collection of web pages and other information such as images, sounds, videos, files that are made available through a what they call a single web service over the website. So we began with our web page. Now, many of you may be familiar with the web page, and the web page is where we upload, or I personally upload my messages. I tell information about our church, and we have pictures, we have history, we have bios. I have my books on the website. I have all of our social networking information there that I do, and I'm going to share up on our church website. Now, a church website is like having a business card, and no one will be able to see your business card unless you hand these business cards out. And many people treat a website as if it is a way to reach people, when actually a website, you have to get people to come to your website. And I noticed that as I was dealing with our website, and I said, over here we're driving people to our website. We were using commercials, a commercial entitled "For People Like You," which can be somewhat expensive, and you can see even that commercial on our website after you listen to the welcome on the first page. Is "For People Like You." And then I began to think, now it seems like we have to get people to come to our website. Why don't I take the message to the people? And that's where and how I began to use MySpace. MySpace is a social network website that is interactive. It's user submitted, network of friends, personal profiles, blogs, pictures, and music. And MySpace seemed to be music driven, and it also seemed to be a way to reach younger people with my brand, which again is the gospel of Jesus Christ. So instead of trying to get people to come to my website, I took my brand and I started to do social networking through MySpace. And now, mind you, MySpace is a international phenomenon. Many of you probably have heard of MySpace, good and bad things, but and you'll hear good and bad things, especially if you come from a conservative point of view or in the church and doing things through the church. But it is what it is. You can get whatever you want on the internet. You can get whatever you want on MySpace. It's according to what your bent is. But on MySpace, you friend people on MySpace, and we were very well welcomed there. My wife and I were very well welcome on MySpace, and MySpace at the time that we began was the most popular social network as of in June 2006. So we began to network that way. We got over 13,000 friends, I think 3,500 views, and And our MySpace ministry really jumped off, and many of the members in my church, they may not have a MySpace, but I guarantee you their children do. So we began to reach a whole lot of people by social networking, putting that brand there on MySpace. And so as we began to see the MySpace phenomenon, I began to hear about other social networks. And the next one that really we began to hear about was Facebook. And Facebook is similar. It's a social network. As a matter of fact, they say that MySpace was overtaken internationally by Facebook as of April 2008 by its monthly, what they call unique visitors. So Facebook began to take off a little more, and again, okay, instead of trying to get the people to come to my website, and many people, they don't mix really well in the networking, social networking. So I couldn't get folk from Facebook to come to MySpace, so I decided to launch a brand or a ministry there on Facebook. And Facebook is a little different. It was made, they say, for college-age students, and as a result, you're reaching a different crowd, a brand of people. Even though there are people of all ages that are doing MySpace now, and a lot of musicians and actors, and use it as networking for communicating to the people. But then we switched, and we do a ministry now on Facebook, and then after doing that, the talk right now is Twitter. Everybody is twittering, and Twitter is another free networking site that you can use. But they do on Twitter, it's called a micro blogging that enables users to send and to read messages called tweets. So you can, on MySpace, you have friends. On Facebook, you have friends. But with Twitter, people follow you. And again, you brand your message now. Each of these are different. MySpace seems to be audio driven. And Facebook seems to be kind of more interactively driven. They have so many different nuances that you can do with Facebook. It's very unique. But Twitter takes it basic. You can only send tweets, they call them, for 140 characters. 140 characters. And it displays on your profile page as the people subscribe to you, as they follow you. And by the way, you can follow me on Twitter by doing a search, Pastor Eaton. My Facebook is, you do the front part of that, / Pastor Michael Eaton, and my MySpace is, you do the MySpace / Pastor Michael Eaton. So if you're a Twitterer, follow me on Twitter. Google me. But anyway, this is another social networking type of things that you can use to carry out your brand and your message to the people, and establishing personal relationships with customers and with members. A lot of members know what I'm doing and messages that I'm putting out each day. So that's Twitter. And they say that Twitter has 6 million unique monthly visitors that they have right now on Twitter. And the last social networking, as I'm running out of time, last social networking that we do is called YouTubes. And again, my brand is the gospel of Jesus Christ. So what we do is we record our messages in the services, and we echo our messages through all of these different social networks where the people are. And YouTube is about videos, putting up videos. Of course, you hear messages.